I did that thing again where I went to a bunch of game stores and bought a bunch of games, old and new. You should be used to that by now. Greetings, comrades. This is Caleb back with another game haul video, and I got quite a stack here because, well, I had a bunch of old games from those mystery boxes I opened up. They have a bunch of those sports games and stuff. I decided to trade those in one of my local game stores. Got a pretty healthy amount of credit from that, and yeah, managed to get a few games from there. And I went with my sister and her husband, run some other game stores around town, and got a few more games, mostly for the PlayStation. Because yes, I'm starting to get PlayStation 4 games now. Because you gotta remember, I missed out on the 8th generation of consoles. You know, the Xbox One and the PS4. Because that's pretty much when I transitioned to PC. But now I play on PC and consoles. So I got my Xbox Series X, my PlayStation 5, which also plays PS4 games. So that's why I get a lot of PS4 games. So I can put them on there. Anyway, we're going to the old games first. Got two NES games, just two. And the first one out of the way, this is Xevious. This is an old Namco shooter. Remember playing a lot of the arcade version, like these different arcade compilations back in the GameCube and whatnot. I think there's a compilation on Xbox 360 as well. I have to look into that. I think I remember owning it actually. But I heard the NES version was pretty decent. Not the greatest, but eh. I like me some shooters, especially on the NES. And, since I got the Super Nintendo version and I like playing it, Monopoly, I decided to get it. Never played the NES version. I played the Super Nintendo version when I was a kid. Never played the NES version. I didn't even know there was an NES version, but now I do. And I got it for just $6. Not too bad. And that's it for the old games. Now, let's step it up a few generations, and I got a couple of original Xbox games, including one I've been looking for a long time, and now I can safely say I own every Forza Motorsport game out there. Been looking for this for a while. The original Forza Motorsport, the OG Xbox, made way back in, if I can find the date, 2005. Apparently this is a version that comes with Xbox Live Arcade. Kind of like that Project Gotham Racing 2 disc I got a while back. But yeah, 2005. That's right. When this game came out, I was starting my senior year in high school. This game is now 20 years old. And definitely played it a little bit back when I was collecting old Xbox games back in the day. And definitely a fun game. It's only gotten better from there. Forza 2. That's my introduction to Forza Motorsport. Then shortly I got this, sold a while back, and now I found it again. And yeah, apparently there's another one of those compilation discs, which has Xbox Live Arcade, which I just said earlier. Yeah, Project Gotham Racing 2, that disc I have, also has that. Might need to look into that, see what it is, since I got that refurbished Xbox. And this game, oh man, definitely enjoyed this. Black. Now this was a first-person shooter made by EA. This is before they became Evil. But yeah, you could argue they're evil then too, but I don't, that's not this video. But anyway, this is a first-person shooter. He plays a Black Ops agent who's basically going over a terrorist cell. And what's interesting about this game at the time was the amount of detail in the weapons, even though a lot of the function stuff were incorrect when you look at it now. But it had destructible environments, even though it felt most of them were kind of scripted. But yeah, it had destroy. You could shoot bullets like pillars, and then the concrete would fall off. You can shoot like gas tanks, and they'll blow up, create bigger explosions and stuff like that. I remember beating a while back, and remember beating all the difficulties and unlocking that silver M16 with a grenade launcher. Man, that was so much fun. And I remember this is the only game on the original Xbox, that lets you use custom soundtracks. I remember burning some CDs in the original Xbox hard drive, but none of the games I had until this utilized that, which I don't know too many games on the original Xbox that used custom soundtracks, but this was one of them. And even though it's not marked there, it does play your soundtracks, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, nice to have that. And I remember this game had a spiritual successor called Body Count, and I remember renting that a while back, and I was underwhelmed by it. It was not a great game. So if I do get it, I might play it again, but I don't know, I hardly see it in the game stores, so I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Okay, now we're on the roll of Xbox. I got Xbox 360 games, and I got 3 of them. Well, technically 5, which I'll get to in a minute. First off, the classic Call of Duty or Modern Warfare. Not the remaster version that was bundled with Infinite Warfare if you bought the higher editions. You all remember that fiasco? But yeah, my brother-in-law back in the day, right when he got the 360, he kind of recommended this game for me. I actually borrowed a copy from it and tried it out, and yeah, it was a really fun game for the time. Say what you about Call of Duty now, but you gotta remember, this is what put Call of Duty on the map, and you know, some might argue the gameplay might not hold up much to this day, but you know, it was a simpler time. This is before we had like a bunch of different kill streaks or the pick 10 system or supply drops or anything like that. And it only had 1 DLC map pack. So this is a simpler time, but this is a classic game. You know, I've yet to meet a single Xbox 360 player that has never played Call of Duty 4 or any of the Call of Duties for that matter. You know, love it or hate it, that's where it got its start. Next up is a really fun game here, Soul Calibur 4. Yeah, didn't really play any Soul Calibur prior to this, but I knew about Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. That was kind of one of the, I wouldn't say launch title, but more like one of the games that put the Dreamcast on the map, and it spawned this awesome weapon-based fighting series. And I remember it had the character customization. One of the game reasons I got this, and plus you had some cool character designs, including some original characters from like legendary artists. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but really fun game. Soul Calibur 5, played that. Wasn't as good, but it was still fun. And there's Soul Calibur 6, which is the last Soul Calibur game released so far. I'm not sure if they're gonna make another one. They're too busy with Tekken 8. But yeah, they've had a lot of fun with this. Gotta get it again. And I got the Far Cry compilation. 3 games. I remember putting a lot of time in these. Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, and Blood Dragon. I actually had Blood Dragon on Xbox Arcade, and didn't know it had a physical release until now. I didn't know they had these compilations. So I guess it came out later in the Xbox 360 life cycle. It includes 3 games instead of 1. Yeah, no, I think they did one for Ghost Recon, one for Devil May Cry, and a few for like a bunch of random games that fit the same genre or anything like that. But yeah, I remember having a lot of fun with these games. Let's have them again. And that's it for the Xbox games. And the last lot is all PS4 games. And I got 7 of them here. And I'll get this one away. I was talking about Call of Duty earlier. I decided to get Advanced Warfare. Because, you know, play on the PC, definitely had a lot of fun with it, even though no one's playing the multiplayer, which I can confirm that. I thought there'd be like a player base in the consoles, but fired this up earlier and decided there's no one playing it. And I bought the Season Pass too, which, hey, I'll play different maps to play against bots and stuff. Which, yeah, this is kind of a controversial title. It was only Sledgehammer's first self-developed Call of Duty game, because remember they worked on Modern Warfare 3 back in 2011. This is their first standalone game, and it was decent, though their later games, not so much. You know, World War II, Vanguard, I guess Modern Warfare 3, 2023. Yeah, wasn't too a fan of that, but I got it anyway because I'm stupid. But I did like Advanced Warfare, the exosuits, the cool weapons, and the interesting like equipment and grenades and whatnot. Interesting game. No, interesting game. You know what's even more interesting? And you know me. Doom. Yeah, just $10, yes. I I actually went to GameStop for these. The first time in a decade I bought anything from GameStop, and oh man, it was quite a trip. Granted, their selection's not nearly as big as it was back then, but hey, they still sell games, and no, I had to get this. You know me, I love Doom, and Doom 2016, definitely an awesome game. They didn't have Doom Eternal. I checked the other, oh yeah, I put it in my PlayStation because I was downloading it. But yeah, definitely like the newer games, but I always go back to the classics because, you know, the mods and source ports and whatnot. But I really enjoyed Doom 2016. I have it for the Xbox, I have it for the Switch, for that Slayers collection. Of course, I have it on Steam, so naturally, I get it here too. You can never have too much Doom. And this I also have on Steam. And this is the third of the games I got from GameStop. This is Redout. Race Faster Than Ever. This is basically a spiritual successor to Wipeout, which is one of Sony's like signature racing games other than Gran Turismo. They're basically like hovercraft that run on super fast tracks and whatnot. I do have this on Steam. I figured might as well get it on PlayStation 4, just something to play on the TV. But definitely intense racing. If you like Wipeout, you'll like that. Speaking of Wipeout, I got the Wipeout Omega Collection, which is basically a collection of remasters. Basically, Wipeout HD, Wipeout Fury, Wipeout 2048. And it has a few extra goodies and stuff. But yeah, I remember playing a demo for Wipeout on the PlayStation 1 a long time ago. Never got around to actually playing the actual game, but hey. And, you know, I do like me some fast-paced racing games. And I decided it was just $5, and so I have PS Plus, I might as well give it a try. I decided to get Anthem for the PS4 as well, which I haven't touched on the Xbox yet, but why not? $5. You know, see if it really is as bad as people say it was. And decided to get Street Fighter V, which, yeah, it never came out on the Xbox. It's on PS4 and Steam, which I got on Steam. I figured I might as well get it for the PS4 so I can play on the TV. Still need to get all the DLC for it, though, but I sort of don't mind. And the last game in this little collection, I recently bought this on Steam, and I definitely like it. Definitely probably getting the sequel later on, but I want to beat this first. Got God of War, the new reboot, which takes place in Norse mythology, even though there's still hints of the Greek mythology the original God of War games are known for. But that's where I got my start in God of War. Maybe one day when I get PS3, I'll hunt down the original, or remastered, I guess I should say, God of War games and play them on there. But yeah, definitely sort of a challenging game if you've never gotten to God of War like I have. But I definitely like it. You know, I like Norse mythology. Heck, I'm 8% Viking, as I found out recently. So I had to get this. You know, I like Vikings, I like Norse culture. Why not? And you know, I already knew about Kratos back in the PS2 days. Never played the original God of War games. Yeah, criminal, I know. One of these days I'll get around to it. And yeah, that is my game haul, comrades. Definitely quite a selection here. Just a few retro games. Well, I guess plenty of you consider the Xbox 360 retro. Never consider the original Xbox retro. And yeah, screenshot here. And there you go. We'll see what finds I find later on. So in the meantime, this is Caleb signing out. You all have a good day.